All right. Be a quick video. We're going to keep continuous coverage on this Amazon headquarters bidding for the second headquarters. 248 cities applied to bid for Amazon's second headquarters. Now the list is down to 20 cities. And this pretty much proves a lot of things that people blame their politicians for, and it's just very interesting and really sad to see the levels that our elected officials with the lengths that they go to just to attract this Amazon headquarters for their community. We understand it's under the guise of it'll bring employment, it'll bring resources. And I think the fact that cities such as this one, Cleveland, our mayor, he did not want to disclose the bid that we had for Amazon. Also, it's not really a popular thing yet, but if people in their city could put pressure on their elected officials to say, hey, what were you going to bid to get this Amazon headquarters? Because I'll be going through the list here. A lot of these proposals to Amazon is just flat out crazy and ridiculous. And it shows that the corporations are really the elected officials. We just had this election in November, the local elections, but the corporations really dictate how because this is becoming more and more of an issue where you're seeing the corporations are having an influence into the community. You see Amazon started online. They had, their headquarters in Seattle. Now they're coming into Whole Foods. Now they're coming into Target. They want to get into the logistic business to get into your home. They're already in your home with Amazon Prime or the Amazon Fire or whatever it is. So it's like a slow move into every almost fabric of society. So let's look at Chicago. Chicago was one of the cities that bid. And this art I'm reading basically from the City Lab website. This is an article by Sarah Holder. So this is her information. I'm just relaying the information to people because I did the first video on the Amazon headquarters causing gentrification in Seattle, where the original headquarters was. And that's important to remember because when Amazon headquarters originally came to Seattle, the housing prices skyrocketed. People couldn't afford it. They moved to the suburbs. Now the apartments and houses the rent is like a 10-year low in these communities. So they have to, the vacancy is at a new low in these communities. So they have to lower the rent to attract more people. So this bid is supposed to attract 50,000 workers. And I'm posting the Bay Area, Boston, and Chicago's proposal. I'll post it in the link when this in the description when this video is over. And if you're watching, share this video, click on the notification and click on all posts so you'll get these notifications when I go live. So because this is a paradox we have where we demand jobs, but it comes with the price. We demand jobs, but, these employers, they want a certain control of the community. And generally, this is 50,000 tech jobs. A large portion of Black people are probably not gonna, or minorities even, may not even get these jobs. So Chicago offered a $60 million property tax break. If you remember in the first video, the headquarters in Seattle was a problem because there was property tax break issues, and the property tax goes towards the city. The property tax goes towards funding our schools. We just did a video on the city of Baltimore not having any heat because they felt they didn't have enough money for the materials. So it's a 6-degree connection between these situations. So a $60 million property tax cut, and they're going to use the income tax from the workers that work at Amazon in Chicago. They're proposing that, okay, if you work at Amazon, the income tax money will go back to Amazon instead of going back to the city of Chicago, instead of fixing the inequality issues in the city of Chicago, instead of, making neighborhoods safer by creating more jobs, more resources, bettering the family structure. They're proposing that this should go towards that should go towards Amazon. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. It's the crime that they're having in Chicago and different things like that. So this is telling you, if Chicago, with their crime rate, with their murder rate in the Black communities, if they're willing to make this kind of offer, it's just it really changes the situation on just the economics in the community. And maybe we should put our attention towards our own economics. People will be hired here and there at these jobs, but there needs to be more of a collective effort to what we can do, for ourselves. So Chicago offers a property tax break, $60 million, and that income tax is $1.32 billion, $1.32 billion in income tax. So that's $1.3 billion that's not going to go towards the city of Chicago. So they're offering the income tax break, which is $1.3 billion. That's not going to go towards the city of Chicago. And they're offering a property tax break. There's a city in California, Chula, Vista. They're offering 84 acres and $100 million tax break. They're offering them free land, 84 acres. And they're saying they can defer. So the 84 acres is worth $100 million. And they're saying that they would defer $300 million of property taxes over 30 years. So they're offering free land, and they don't have to pay $300 million in property tax for 30 years. That's I'm not going to say that's unbelievable, but that's really crazy when you look at it. And that's why with the Indisposable Democracy film, we have to really, and it's starting to pick up, it's starting to change. Like a lot of these governors in these cities like Chicago and the mayor of Chicago, but this is the governor of California, like they're Democrats. So they're telling you, that's why we have to stop being this traditional voting of Democrats, and the Democrats have our best interests and this and that. They're selling us out to corporations. They work for the corporations. You know what I mean? Like, what are their principles? What are their values? So we have the Chicago with the property tax of $60 million, and we have the income tax of $1.32 billion. So that's $1.5 billion that won't go to the city of Chicago for, city services and resources. Then you have in California, they're going to offer free land and property tax. So it just makes you wonder, with all of this money that they're offering Amazon, what could they really be doing for the community? And it lets you know that they're full of shit, because certain cities like Cleveland, the city I'm in, they're not offering their bid proposal. We should demand to see those bid proposals. What were you going to offer? Because if you're going to offer something to Amazon, more than likely you already have it available. You just wanted to, try and create some kind of leverage for an Amazon situation where you could hire thousands of people. And hiring thousands of people is great. That's a lot of money, but you know, when you read these proposals are long. Some of these proposals are 50, 60, 100 pages. And when you read them, you're like, you know, is the city plan this long? Is the plan to eradicate crime this long? Is the plan to revive the economy in the Midwest Rust Belts this long? Or is the plan for affordable housing this long? You know what I mean? All of these, it started in October, but all of these cities, you know, they just went, it was crazy. And it's a big opportunity, but at the same time, it's comes with we have to be very, very cautious. The people in Seattle are, you know, they're warning us of what happened to them with the housing prices going up, with you know, the top 5% in Seattle had the highest increase, where the bottom 20 percentile of earners, their pay only went up $300. But the top, you know, since Amazon, but the top 5% of earners, they had the highest increase in the country, meaning the gap between the rich and the poor became wider in that city, due in part to the Amazon. So it says, far from conceding taxes, Fresno wants to hold Amazon to an agreement that will commit all of the taxes and fees generated by Amazon to the city of Fresno for a term of 100 years. 100 years. But those funds will be jointly spent in a fund shared between Amazon and the county, allowing Amazon to weigh in on city planning to an unprecedented degree. So Amazon and the city of Fresno is basically saying they would give Amazon for 100 years community, to a certain degree, control of the community. And, you know, that 15%, when you talk about percents, so that means it's 85% left, right? But that 15% has so much clout, it has so much money behind it, so much power and influence, it might as well have 85%. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even get caught up in the 15% being a low number, and that's still kind of high. That's almost a quarter, you know. So allowing Amazon to weigh in on city planning to an unprecedented degree, only 15% of the money Amazon generates in taxes would be unrestricted for traditional city and county services. The remaining 85 will go towards designated city projects of Amazon's choosing. Announced and advertised with the shiny "This Project Brought to You by Amazon" label. So they're gonna get, this is bad, man. This is, I mean, it's, we have to, I don't know, man. We need jobs, we need employment, you know, for the city, but this is what the elected officials are willing to give away too much, just for, you know, some jobs, and it's like a cheap fix. So I'm going to be back to talk about racism and robots in a few minutes, so stay tuned.